Hi guys, I'm Wendy and this is Jo Beth, and we're from the Emson School of Nursing up at the University of Arkansas, and we're so glad that you guys have come here from your high school to participate in our program about breastfeeding and formula feeding and the benefits of breastfeeding and why you might want to do that. Have you guys thought about how you're going to feed your babies when they're born?
I just kind of assumed I would do the formula, but...
Is that what your mom did for you?
Yeah, and just it's easier, I feel like, and yeah, I just feel like that's...
You think maybe it's easier?
Yeah.
Have you decided what you're going to do?
I thought about formula feeding because I was formula fed, and I just don't think my boobs would make enough milk.
You're afraid that's a fear that, yeah, I've heard that before. People are afraid that maybe they won't make enough milk. Did you have any idea what you're going to do?
I think it'd be cool to breastfeed, but I don't really know how to go about it.
Okay. Well, good. Then let's talk about some of the things. I know that I've heard other people say that they were afraid that maybe they couldn't go out, and there's things that we can do to help you understand that you can pump and leave milk behind for somebody else to help take care of your baby so that you can actually have some freedom too. And also, before you guys came in here today, we did have you fill out the TOEFL assessment of learning needs too. So some of the reasons why you might want to breastfeed. You think it would be cool to breastfeed?
Less to buy.
Yeah, cheaper, yes, definitely. Because,
essentially free.
Yes, because the average person who's formula feeding spends $1,730 a year for formula. So without that, and that's just the formula. That's not counting bottles and nipples and all the things that you need to accessorize for bottle feeding.
Speaking of nipples, doesn't it make your boobs bad, like really ugly to breastfeed?
I think life is hard on breasts. So I don't think that unduly that you'll get more sagging out of breastfeeding. I'm not sure about that, but it's so much better to breastfeed for your baby if you're capable of feeding, if you're able to do it.
And also, if you get a good latch, you shouldn't feel any pain at all. If your baby's breastfeeding correctly, you shouldn't feel any pain at all.
Yeah, if there is pain, or if you're having trouble getting a good latch, or if there's any pain, I had pain when I was breastfeeding, and the La Leche League leaders will come straight out to your house and they'll help you and make sure that your baby's latching on properly. They're so quick, and there's so many people who can come out to help you. The Benton County Breastfeeding Coalition is a group of breastfeeding moms who are out there to help. And there's just tons of resources, and we'll make those available for you. We've got pamphlets up here that we can hand out on your way out, and there's mentor moms here that we want to help you guys get connected with so that you can ask them questions like that and ask them how those things have affected them, and that way you guys can talk together about it. Some of the other benefits of breastfeeding are reduced incidence of SIDS. Do y'all know what SIDS is? SIDS is sudden infant death syndrome, and so breastfed babies, there's a direct correlation with breastfeeding has less incidence of SIDS, which is kind of huge. They have less respiratory infections, so your baby would be at the doctor's office less often. Less ear infections. Formula-fed babies have many more ear infections than breastfed babies. And formula-fed babies have 3 to 4 times more diarrhea than breastfed babies. So, I mean, if
less food to clean up.
I know, much better cleanup time. And also less allergies and eczema and fewer cavities.
And as your baby gets older, there's a reduced chance of obesity, juvenile diabetes, and cancer, which is huge for when they grow up and get older.
One of the other things that you guys might want to know about breastfeeding is that it helps you lose the baby weight better. So it's much
burning a lot of calories.
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah. There's other benefits to the mom, like it has less risk of osteoporosis. Women who breastfeed have less risk of breast cancer, and they have reduced anxiety and a stronger sense of connection to their baby. One of the things you might have heard about is postpartum depression. Have y'all heard about postpartum depression? And that's something that when you're breastfeeding, the hormones that are involved that are released when you're breastfeeding, you have less incidence of postpartum depression. So it's good for you and the baby to be breastfeeding. So you were concerned about how to do it. So there's lots of resources that are available that we'll connect you with. We have here available for us today the people from the Benton County Breastfeeding Coalition, the Arkansas Breastfeeding Coalition, the La Leche League, and Breastfeeding Friendly Arkansas. And also where we are right now is at Terra Tots, which is a really nice downtown local business that caters specifically to moms and breastfeeding, and there's a midwife who owns this store, and she answers questions for people who have any questions without judgment. She's available to help whether you're formula feeding or whether you're breastfeeding, whether you have a hospital birth or a home birth. There's lots of people who want to help. Okay, so we're going to go through a scenario of your baby's crying. It's the middle of the night. You might not have gone through this scenario in your head yet. So if you're going to formula feed and you're a breastfeeding and you're a formula feeding mom, then we're going to walk you through the process. So you've decided to formula feed and you've decided to breastfeed. Your baby wakes up in the middle of the night and you have to get up, get your baby, calm your baby as you're going to the kitchen. So walk into the kitchen and you're going to get your bottle out while you're holding your baby. Prepare your bottle. Measure out your formula. Go to the sink and then put your filtered water into the formula. Warm the bottle in the warmer, which probably takes 30 seconds to a minute, I think probably a minute and a half. And in the meantime, the baby's still crying because the baby's still hungry. And you're comforting your baby, you're tired. As the bottle finishes getting warm, then you have to put the nipple back up on the bottle. And then you'll have to bottle feed the baby.
So ultimately that process could take up to close to half an hour, we were thinking. And essentially for breastfeeding, all mom has to do is reach over in the bassinet, pick up the baby, and begin breastfeeding. And feed until the baby's not hungry anymore, and then put the baby back to bed right next to her. So obviously the time is a lot less with actually breastfeeding.
And then of course, the baby who with the bottle has to get up and clean up her bottle feeding so that there's not a mess.
More sleep for mom too.
More sleep for mom. Next to you guys on the tables is a birth plan for you guys that you worked on last week with your birth plan class, with your birth plan class. And at the end of it, there's a place for you to establish a phone tree. So when you start having contractions for your birth, who are you going to call? Who is your partner going to call? And make sure that you put on that phone list your breastfeeding mentor, because they want to come and help you and make sure that you're getting a good latch within the first couple of days. And then also if you want to call us to let us know, we'd love to follow up with you in a week's time, and there's a paper for you to sign as you go out the door that we'd like for you to give us if you want to give us your name, if you're formula feeding or breastfeeding, and your due date. And that way we can follow up with you after you have your baby.
We'll try and follow up a week after your due date and then 6 months to see if you've continued to breastfeed if that was your choice.
And also, while you're here today, if you could also program into your phone some of these dates that we've given you from the Leche League to go attend a meeting, because they can teach you so much more. These are actively breastfeeding moms, and they're going through the same things that you'll be going through as well, and it can be very helpful. What am I missing? I think that's it.
I hope you guys have learned a lot.
Reinforcing. So do you think that you want to breastfeed, or do you think that you want to formula feed?
Yeah. Based off of what we've told you guys today, if you guys feel confident that you can choose breastfeeding as the way to feed your baby?
Absolutely. I didn't know all the benefits of that compared to formula especially.
So like it'll be a nice bonding experience, good benefits with it.
Exactly. Sounds really great.
And you feel confident in finding community to help you?
Yeah, the
Yes.
mentor is a great idea.
Awesome.
Be
There's
nice to have
plenty
that
of resources in
community.
the environment that can help facilitate this.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. These are our pregnant teen mothers meeting with their mentors about their breastfeeding plan.